In this video, I will discuss about divs and spans. Alright, so let's get started with divs. By the way, these things are useless if you are going only to learn HTML. These things are powerful though if you are going to learn CSS by the future or you have some knowledge about CSS. Alright, so what div stands for? Div stands for divide. So it divides the pages to different parts. Alright, so if we go to Udemy, you have different parts of the web page. We have this heading part, we have the search engine, we have this thing, we have the instructor and my courses, and we have this sidebar, and we have this content, and yeah, it's basically divided, and we have this divided into the footer, and these things are divided by divs. Alright, so we can style anything alone. Alright, so let's get started. Let me make a div. I will make a container. You can call it a container or something because it has content inside it. Alright, so when we make a div, as you see, we have a line because it has no content. But if I add content like paragraphs or h1 element, like saying, for example, I will say this is the subject of this story. Alright, so now this div has only one thing. Alright, it will take this only thing. This is a whole division of the web page, but sometimes you need to add more things like paragraphs and other things. Let me just make, and I will explain. If I said this story is, alright, let me say story, or actually stories is awesome. Alright, so what I did, I make a division of this page that I can style alone in CSS. So if I just choose this div, I can style it alone and I can give it a single background that the other parts of the web page does not have. Alright, did you get the point? So I divided this whole section from the other sections, and I can make multiple things. Alright, let me say, and I will change this to h2. I'll say story 1, and I'll also copy this. I'll paste it multiple times. Alright, let me just refresh, I think. Alright, so in this div, I can, as you see, if I selected this div, it will, put a border between what this division is. So this is divided from this, and I can put the whole thing in one div saying this is the whole thing, like this one div, and I can close it. Let me just delete it from here and put it below this one. Right, now let me just indent that by clicking tab. Alright, so everything is inside the division. So if I design this, everything will be designed. But if I design this thing only will be designed. If I design this thing, it will only design this thing. If I design this, everything will be designed. Did you get the point? Of divs are divisions in the web page, and I can actually give them IDs and classes. For example, I will give this an ID of page header. So when I style it in CSS, I just select page header and I style it, and this only will be changed. Here as well, I can say page body, and I can, change the page body style. But what about spans? Spans are actually the same, but the different spans are just small things you want to, you want to change about the whole div. For example, if you have a whole div about the header, I'll make a header. Alright, saying h1 subject, I'll say, for example, paragraph, subjects are awesome. I'm saying things that doesn't have no meaning. Alright, so don't you worry. Alright, so I want to style the whole thing, including one thing, the R word, or awesome. I want to design this alone instead of designing the whole thing, okay, and putting awesome in another thing to design. I want to design everything inside this division or this section instead of this one. I don't want to style this, I want to give it a different style. I put it between a span tag. So this is what we will do, span. Alright, and I will put awesome inside this. Alright, Control C, and I'll paste it over here. Now I can style everything, but everything will be styled including this thing. Now if I select expand, it will select the thing that I want to style alone. Alright, these things might not make any sense for you, but in the future about learning CSS, these things are so powerful, right? See you in the next lecture.